Sushruta for NEET is now available on the Google Play Store. Try it out for free.
Good morning. Hearty welcome to JnanaMarga, your biology class. I am Prof G.K Bhat. In our last class, we were studying about how many species are there on this earth. Even though a good number of biologists put an expectation in different millions ranging from 20 to 50 million, we are following what Robert May said. We are following his estimation. Robert May estimated the global species diversity at about 7 million. Remember this point, at about 7 million. Let us look at some interesting aspects about Earth biodiversity based on the currently available species inventories. That means we are looking into how many species are discovered so far. At some interesting aspect of that biodiversity. What is that? What these already discovered species indicate is that more than 70% of all the species recorded are animals. More than 70%. Whenever I said what I said out of 1.7 million species, how much is the animal species? How much is the plant species? Out of 1.7 million to 1.8 million?
0.5 million.
1.5 million is what?
Plants.
Species, and 1.3 million is animal species. Is it not that this is roughly 70%? Yes. If at all you put this 1.5 into 1.3 into 1.5, it becomes a 25, 75. It is still little less than, that means 70%. So correct. More than 70% of all species recorded animals, while plants, including algae, fungi, bryophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, all these comprise not more than 22%. Not more than 22%. Right? So this is what interesting aspect. More than that, among animals, insects are the most species-rich taxonomic group. Very, very important point. Amongst animals, it is insects are the most species-rich taxonomic group, making up more than 70% of the total. More than 70% total. Generally, what we say, no? 2/3 of the population is insects. Or putting it in another way, out of 3, one is out of 3, 2 are insects. That means it comes to 66%. That means it comes to around 70%, rounding up. Among animals, insects are the most species-rich taxonomic group. Insects includes all whatever you come across in your day-to-day life. Different types of insects, including your pet animal, cockroach, housefly, mosquito, whatever you see inside, ants. That means out of every 10 animals on this planet, 7 are insects. 70%. 7 are insects. Imagine how much a big group it is. Right? Again, how do we explain this enormous diversification of insects? What is the reason for such an enormous diversification? That is, these insects have very good adaptable capability. They are known for their adaptation, modification ability. The number of fungi species in the world is more than the combined total of species of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, mammals. So now let us look into a pie diagram. Look here. This is what with regard to invertebrate species inventory. What you know so far, most of that, 70% are insects. Then comes the next big group, mollusca, second largest phylum group, mollusca. All other animals together form this group. And crustaceans is still small. So this is with regard to invertebrates. So you have insecta, you have molluscs, you have crustaceans, and all others together, this much of percentage. Coming to the vertebrates, you can see it. Fishes almost are together, fishes together. So fishes outnumber all the other tetrapods together. These are the tetrapods, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. If you put all of them together, fishes alone is more than that. Coming to the plants, as I told you, fungi is the largest group. Then the angiosperms. Then I can see this algae. And then you must know mosses, ferns and other relatives, and lichens. What is important is that you will be given this diagram and it will be marked there A, B, C, D, E, F. You must know what stands for what. Or in this also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You must know what these particular numbers in this pie graph indicate. Therefore, it is important. Right? The same thing I don't want. So it should be noted that these estimates do not give any figure for prokaryotes. No, prokaryotes you have not taken into consideration. It is not possible. They are so much big group. It is not at all possible. And we cannot estimate also. And if at all you start estimating these prokaryotes, they will be the number one, not even insects. Right? Okay. Now, come on. Bless you, tell me. Okay, I would like to take the attendance. Aisha? Aisha? Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Kanisa?
Yes, sir.
Janani?
Yes, sir.
Kavita? Navya?
Yes, sir.
Navya, why don't you call your friend Kavita? Would you play? Would you try? Please?
Yes, sir, I'll try.
Okay. Tanusri?
Yes, sir.
Jayasri?
Yes, sir.
Savitri?
Yes, sir.
Ismita?
Yes, sir.
Nadira? Nadira? Ismita?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you wake up, Nadira?
Sir, I'll call her now.
Sharan?
Yes, sir.
Chinmay?
Yes, sir.
Harshvardhan?
Sir is joining, sir.
Huh? What?
He's joining.
Harshvardhan? He?
He's joining now. He's joining, sir, now.
Sarvottam? Siddesh?
Yes, sir.
Sarvottam? Where is he? Siddesh? Where is your friend?
No, sir, he not came.
No, that's what I'm asking. Have you not come back to the hostel?
No, sir. He's on the way, sir.
Vishwas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jyoti? Namrata?
Yes, sir.
Prithvi? Prithviraj? Lohit?
Yes, sir.
Have I left any names? Right. Come on. Blessy?
Sir,
What you have studied now?
sir, Kavita's phone is switched off.
But Kavita came.
She came? Okay, okay.
Ah,
Didn't see it.
Kavita
Didn't see
came.
it.
ಕವಿತಾ ನೀನು ಕಾಸಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಮ್ಮ ನನಗೆ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. Yeah, come on, Blessy. You got blessed. So much time you got to read and to tell. Blessy.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I just joined while you were explaining.
I know. Okay, I am in this field for last 48 years. Okay, come on. Tell me. You tell me, Blessy. Blessy, honestly, you tell me. Is it not that you are reading?
I'm reading, sir.
Okay, tell me. Tell me. What do you explain? Come on, who will tell me? Kanisa? Namrata, can you? Namrata, Jyoti, Savitri, Jayasri. Come on, anyone. Quick. Quick. Namrata, what are you doing?
Yes, sir.
Come on, tell me in brief what you have studied. Right from Mayor's estimate of 7 million. What did you say after that?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Sure. Very much.
In Earth's biodiversity, more than 70% of the species are recorded, out of which 22% comprise plants.
No.
And among animals,
Hmm.
insects make up almost about 70% of the total. That is, out of 10 animals, every 7 animals are insects. These estimations.
Why there are so much? Why there are so many insects?
Sir, because they have very large diversity.
No, why they have large diversity? I have mentioned about this in my today's class. Can anyone recall? I said they are having large diversity. They are more in number because of one reason.
Adaptation.
Amrita, you have missed it. They are easily adapting to the changes that is happening quickly. Even if at all you put some insecticide on them, some will die, but others will somehow survive by changing the metabolic activities inside the body. And after surviving, they successfully reproduce. And that, whatever that mutation they undergo, that is passed to the next generation, and they will also survive. So that is adaptability. Okay, right. Now we shall continue this, whatever you have studied now. I hope you are seeing this. Are you seeing this screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You should note that These estimates do not give any figure for prokaryotes. Biologists are not sure about how many prokaryote species there might be. The problem is that conventional taxonomic methods are not suitable for identifying microbial species. And many species are simply not culturable under laboratory conditions. So now what is that? What is this conventional taxonomic method? Conventional taxonomic method includes, if at all you want to describe any species, new species, you have to go to the field, you have to actually literally collect the data specimen, maybe a plant or animal. Minimum of 5 specimens should be there. And you should thoroughly study them. No doubt, you have to kill them. Plant, you have to cut them. Animal, you have to kill them. And then you have to study all the characters, whatever is seen in that plant or animal, you have to take down, note down, without missing a single point. Then you have to compare it already with already discovered species. And whatever you have collected, if it is already matching with the discovered species, it is not new species. All your work went useless. It go useless. So now, this is what, and also that once you come across any new species, you have to deposit in a national laboratory, you have to write an article, you have to publish, and others in the field, experts in the field should agree that yes, this is a new species. All these things are there. It is a tedious work. The problem is that conventional taxonomy method, whatever I have said, are not suitable for identifying microbial species because many of these microbial species cannot be cultured that much easily in a laboratory condition. If you accept biochemical and molecular criteria alone, biochemical or molecular criteria for delineating species for this group, then their diversity alone might run into millions. If you follow biochemical method, culturing them, then looking into whether it's a new species or known species. If you succeed in that, then the bacteria population or microbial population itself will run into several millions, right? Although, very important point, please note, and I will be asking here and there, I will be abruptly stopping and asking, although India has only 2.54% of the world's land area, its share of the global species diversity is an impressive 8.1%. What is that? Although India has only 2.4% of the world's total land area, we have only 2.4%. Even though we have only that much of area when compared to the whole land area of the earth, how much is the species diversity contribution from India? It is 8.1%. Quite impressive. Very important statement, you must remember. That is what makes our country one of the 12 mega diversity countries of the world. Mega diversity country. Countries with the rich diversity. One of the 12 mega diversity countries of the world. Again, this is very important. All these 2.4% of the world's land mass in India, 8.1% is the diversity of the species in the world in India. And India is, because of that, it is considered as one of the 12 mega diversity countries, that is one of the 12 countries with the rich population of these plants and animals. Nearly 45,000 species of plants and 90,000 species of animals have been recorded from India. Remember, this is another figure. How many living species are actually there waiting to be discovered and named? This is the question that is put. Yes, we know. Yes, 1.7 or 1.8 million species are there. And even the mayor has said that there must be about 7 million. Now, how much is waiting in India? If we accept May's global estimate, only 22% of the total species have been recorded so far. Only 22%. Even if it will look into 7 million. Out of 7 million, we know only about 1.7 or 1.8 million. That means only 22% of the total species have been recorded so far. Okay. This is a map showing you 12 mega diversity countries, 12 countries. Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, Zaire, Madagascar, China, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia. But this 12 megahertz country number is given in the book published in 2007. Whatever NCERT book you read now, it got printed in 2007 and later it is simply reprint. So, if at all you want to know how many megahertz countries are there, now the megahertz country has reached above 17. So, if at all you are asked how many megadiversity countries are there in the earth, answer is now 17 and not 12. If 17 is not given, then you have to go for 12 only. So these are all megadiversity countries, 17 countries, right? Okay. Now, we got some ideas. They go to this all. Come on. Who will tell me? Prithviraj. Prithviraj.
Yes, sir.
Why you are coming late every time? You won't wake up. You want me to wake you up every day? Let me do that. Let me do that. Please give me an opportunity. At what time you wake up every day?
5:30, 5:40.
At what time you go to bed every day?
11:30.
You fix a time and you keep a double alarm. Are you not keeping alarm?
Yes, sir, I'm keeping.
Where you keep the alarm?
Beside me only, sir.
No, you keep about 10 feet away.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then only you will get up from the bed and to switch it off. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Come on. Who will answer my question? Nadira, what happened to you? Nadira.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why you did not wake up? Okay. Come on. Who will give me the figure now? I have said something. Quick. Quick. You don't make me to call your name. You are keeping me waiting. Lohit, helapa. Lohit.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
So, the prokaryotic species is higher than, maybe higher than insect species.
Okay, now you tell me.
The
You tell me now.
problem.
Allah, Lohit, you tell me. I don't mind even if at all you look in that book. How much is the land area of India when compared to the whole earth? And what is the species diversity in India compared to whole earth?
2.4 world's land area and 8.1 biodiversity species.
And it is a species diversity in India. Okay. And after that, what you have studied? Vishwas.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what is mega diversity countries? How many countries are there?
12 megas.
Yeah.
Diversity country.
I said it is of a figure given in a 2007 printed book. How much I said at present?
17.
17. So this is what I wanted to know, right? Now we shall come back. Applying this proportion to India's biodiversity figures, we estimate that there are probably more than 1 lakh plant species and more than 3 lakh animal species yet to be discovered and described in India. Charan,
Yes, sir.
how many species of plants are known in India?
45,000 species, sir.
How many animal species?
Twice of it.
Pardon?
Twice of it, sir.
How much?
90,000.
90,000. So now, if at all you go by the same, we have knowledge of only 45,000 species of plants, and it may go up 1 lakh. We have only 90,000, it may go up 3 lakh. And these are yet to be discovered and discovered. Would we ever be able to complete the inventory of the biological wealth of our country? Can we do that? Are we going to find it out? Is it possible by us? Yes or no? Rakesh?
No, sir.
Why? Why? Why
We
not?
don't have the
Pardon?
complete knowledge about the each and every species.
No, what we are telling that is what we have to go and search. Anyone? Can we do that? We have already knowledge of 45,000. We have to do another 55,000. Can we do that? Would we be ever able to complete the inventory of biological wealth of our country? Jyoti?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Would we be able to do that?
No, sir.
Why? Rafa?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
Why?
Because there will be new species.
What
There
news?
will be continuing,
Huh?
like mutations or something.
No. Janani? Vismita?
Sir, each and every time a new organism will have certain different adaptability to the environment. So
So
we can't like
So you are telling that it is not possible to, therefore it is not possible to invent them?
Yes, sir.
Answer is not that. The thing is that listen to me, Rafa,
Yes, sir.
listen to me. The thing is that what is happening is that before we could go in search of them and working on them, by the time they become extinct, before that they become extinct because of the harm that we are doing to the nature. We are disturbing the nature to that extent. We are not at all allowing any of these plants and animals to remain safe. That much of damage we are doing to the nature. So, consider the immense trained manpower and the time required to complete the job. How much time we have to spend? You know that to discover these 5 new species of animals. I have worked right from 1982 to 1982, 2006, nearly 25 years I have worked. Almost my prime of youth has gone in that work. Consider the immense trained manpower that is required and the time required to complete the job. The situation appears more hopeless. When we realize that a large fraction of these species faces the threat of becoming extinct even before we discover them. We will not be knowing that. Prior to that, we cut the forest and burn the forest and convert that forest into agricultural land or some other land into residential area? So there is an analogy. Nature's biological library is burning even before we catalog the titles of all books stocked there. We wanted to know what all books are there in that library. But prior to that, library got with the fire. Library got burnt with the fire. That means without knowing that what all books are there, because you are not at all made a catalog of that. I hope you know. Whenever you go to a big library and you want to find out the required book, whatever the book that you require, is there in the library or not? You tell me how you can find out. Have you gone to any library? Have you found out that? How that now let us say that you want one book of a particular author, right? Have you heard about Hamlet? Have you heard about a book by name Hamlet?
Yes, sir.
Who has written it?
William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. You wanted to know whether that Hamlet book written by Shakespeare is there in the library. What you can do? Can you, sir? Rafa? How you are going to find it out in the library?
Ask the librarian.
Is it that a librarian is a treasure house that in his small brain everything is there? Librarian cannot memorize. Do you think that a librarian should memorize that 10,000 or 20,000, whatever that big library? Let us say that there are 20,000 books or 30,000 books in the library, because depending, based on or related to all different subjects. Do you expect the library to be that much smart, knowledgeable? What do you do? What do you do? Do you know that? Do you know that? What is done? You don't know. As soon as you enter the library, there will be what is called catalog box. There will be a almirah where A, B, C, D, F, all that up to Z will be written. And you are going to that particular track, and there will be index. And you're right. Now what you want to see? You can look into by name, you can look into by author. You are now looking into by author. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, you go to author. It is yes. You start looking into what all books are there is related to yes. Yes will be followed by A first, then it will be followed by B, then it will be followed by C. Now you have to Shakespeare. You have to search SH. If you don't, SH. If you don't, after H, what is that alphabet? After H, what is the alphabet? Huh? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H? I. The moment that I comes, you leave it. You need not to search afterwards. So the catalog gives what all books are there inside the library. You need not ask librarian at all. He will tell you just search in the catalog box. Each and every book will be cataloged. Each and every book that will give, that card will tell you where is this book, in which cupboard it is there, in which rack it is there, what is the number of the book. So straight away you can go to third floor. If it says it is in the third floor, this particular cupboard, it will be giving the cupboard number. So down there it will be there. The cupboard, or these cupboards are in the first floor, these cupboards are in second floor, these cupboards are in third floor, like that. Straight away, within 15 minutes, you can straight away go to that particular place, that particular floor, that particular cupboard, that particular rack, and search there. This is what. Of course, there will be assistant librarians always to keep it in their respective places. And whenever you pick up some library books to read, now let us say that you are interested to read this book, Hamlet. You are not permitted to take out. There are two types of books. One is for reference, one is for text. If it is classified as a text, you have to read there only. Reference, they will allow you to take it out like that. We can borrow. So now this is what's happening. So if at all you are not supposed to take it out, you refer. And after reading, after referring, there are two methods. If at all you have the time, we can go and back and keep it there. Otherwise, they'll not tell you. You have to keep it there on the table and go. Assistant librarians, they take that and put it in their respective places. Anyhow, this is not required for you. Nature's biological library is burning even before we cataloged the titles of all the books stocked there. That means what damage we are doing to this nature before we could discover them, they get lost. That is the pathetic part. I hope you understood this. Now, this slide you have this screenshot. How many mammals are there? How many birds are there? How many reptiles, amphibians, fishes in the world? As I have told you, you have more number of species, almost double. If you add all this, it will be equivalent to the fishes. All these together will be almost equal to fishes. So after the fishes, the next most big group is that of the birds. Next to that birds, it is the reptiles. Next to the reptiles, it is the amphibians. Next to the amphibians, it is the mammals. I hope you understood. So among the tetrapods, mammals are the least, birds are highest. Understood? Clear? Now, this I don't want. Okay. Yeah. So this is with regard to one part of the ecosystem. Are you following me? Have you understood? Have you understood? Any doubts you have? No response at all? No response? Very good. There's no response. If it was asked you, have you understood? Any difficulties there? No response. Can you see this slide now?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
Biodiversity and conservation.
Okay. Patterns of biodiversity. Is it that the biodiversity, whatever come across, it is uniformly distributed throughout the earth? No. As far as the patterns of biodiversity is concerned, we have what is called a latitudinal gradients. What do you mean by that? The diversity of plants and animals is not uniform throughout the world, but it shows a rather uneven distribution. For many group of animals or plants, there are interesting patterns in diversity. The most well-known being the latitudinal gradient in diversity. What do you mean by this latitudinal gradient? You know, there is a latitude passing through the middle of the globe of the earth. It is called equator. As you move from equator to north, whatever that horizontal line you come across, these are called latitudes. What are these vertical lines you call?
Longitudes.
Longitudes. As you move from equator towards the North Pole or from equator towards the South Pole, we say these are the latitudinal gradients in diversity. You find a latitudinal gradient in diversity. That means according to the latitude from 0 to north, 0 to south, As you move through the different latitude, 0, 10, 0 to 10, then 20, 30, like that, you do find some gradation with regard to the diversity. Let us see what is that. This is what you have equator. North to this equator, you have Tropic of Cancer. South to equator, you have Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn. As you move from the equator towards the north or come towards the south, the biodiversity goes on changing. What change you notice? In general, species diversity decreases as we move away from the equator to the north or south, to the pole. Species diversity decreases as we move from equator to north or to the south. Decreases, right? So, with very few exceptions, tropics, that is, in between the latitude 0 to in between latitude 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south, this is what is called tropic. With very few exceptions, tropics harbor more species than temperate or polar area. This is the tropical area. This what you see is the temperate area. And this what you see polar area. So, species diversity is more in the tropical area than temperate area than the polar areas. Right? Okay. Savitri?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Repeat what I've said. Repeat what I have said just now.
Species about mammals. Species about mammals. 5,490 is the species.
No, that is not the same what I have said just now.
Equator, sir.
Huh? What I said the last sentence, no.
About equator, sir.
What I said, you just tell me. I made some remarks. Tanu? 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 Jayasri? Jayasri? Hello. Tanusri? Please. Aisha? Aisha? Aisha?
Sir.
Come on.
Species population is more in temperate zone than polar region.
Then? Where it is very much more?
Tropical.
Then? So I said, what exactly I said? You let us see how others are responding. Bless you, tell me.
Species population decreases as we move from equator to the poles.
Yeah, equator to the temperate region to poles. This is what I said. Savitri, Tanusri, Jayasri, please be attentive. Okay. So I am going to ask you this every now and then. Right? I hope you have seen. You have understood this. Harshavardhan? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So now this is what I showed, Savitri. With the very few exceptions, tropics, that is in between 23.5 to 23.5 north to south, they harbor more species than temperate and polar areas. This is what I said, Blessy, right? Now, you look into Colombia. This is Colombia. Colombia. Located near the equator. Colombia. Located near the equator. Right? Colombia is this part. Locate Colombia here. Colombia, located near the equator, has nearly 1,400 species of birds, while New York, look here, New York, located at a 41-degree north, has 105 species. 105 species. Greenland, at a 71-degree north, only 56 species. This observation supports what? Diti? This observation supports what? Diti?
Yes, sir.
This observation supports what? What do you get to know from this? Janani?
So that species population decreases from equator to the pole.
Yeah. You have 1,400 species of birds in Colombia located nearer the equator. Where is the equator? Where is the equator? Is it north to Colombia or south to Colombia? Where is the equator? Where is the equator? Rakesh, where is the equator? Rakesh? Rakesh? Where is the equator? Come on.
Passing right through Colombia.
Passing?
Right through Colombia.
Right to Colombia? This Colombia is here.
Over it.
Is it equator? See, I shall pull that. Is it that here you come across equator? Is it? You have India. What is passing through India?
Tropic of Cancer.
So?
It's below that.
My question is that where you have?
South to Colombia, sir.
South or north? It is south to equator, north to equator. South to equator. South to Colombia, you have equator. South to Colombia, you have equator. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ರಾಕೇಶ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮನೇಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಸರ್
ಹಲೋ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗನಿಗೆ 2-3 ಸಲ ಕರೆದೆ, ಅವ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. 2-3 ಸಲ ಕರೆದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಚಾರಿಸಿ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಚಾರಿಸಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ. ಏನು ರಾಕೇಶ್?
Sir, I went to answer by mistake, like I clicked the end button, sir.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ನಾವು ಐ ಮೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಸೆವೆರಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಇದು? ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಕರೆದೆ ನಾನು ನಿನಗೆ? ನೀನು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡುವುದಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ನನಗೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸೊಬ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕರಿತೇನೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ example that species diversity is more in equator. As you move from equator to temperate to the polar area, it decreases. This we have taken only bird as an example. Ecosystems near the equator clearly have more species than do ecosystems near the poles. See, all this whatever you see here, red dots, all this whatever you come across, these indicate the richness of species. How much dots, red dots you see here? How much red dots you see towards the pole? You can't see, am I right? Am I right? Towards the poles you are not at all seeing that. But much of these red dots you see in between here, 30 degree north to 30 degree south. So ecosystems near the equator, this is the equator. Near the equator, see, near the equator, how much is there? Near the equator, ecosystems near the equator clearly have more species than do ecosystems near the poles. Clear? And more than that, coral reef and estuarine ecosystems. Estuary is the place where the sea and the river meets. Wherever you see sea, wherever you see sea, there will be the estuary, river water coming and joining the sea. So the coral reef and estuarine ecosystem have the highest degree of species diversity on the earth. Because 70% of the earth is surrounded by sea. Wherever land is there, ultimately in the land, the river joins the sea, where you come across coral reef. So the highest degree of species diversity is found in the coral reefs, estuaries. As one proceeds from equator to the subtropics, temperate and polar region. What is a subtropic? Subtropic is the region between the tropic and the temperate. Tropic and temperate. If this is the tropical, if this is the, you just imagine about 30. If I say that this is the temperate, this is the tropical, this is the tropical, this is the temperate. In between, it is adjacent between the tropical and temperate. Tropical, temperate. So here you have, this is the tropical bed. This is the tropical bed. This is the tropical bed. So here, this area and this area, what you come across this area is known as what? Subtropics. Subtropics. So as one proceeds from equator to subtropics, temperate and polar regions on either side of the equator, the species biodiversity decreases dramatically. So this is one with regard to species diversity. As you go from equator to the poles, the diversity goes on decreasing. Right? Goes on decreasing. Right? India, with much of its land area in the tropical latitude, you know, this is the topic of cancer. India, with much of its land area in the tropical latitude, what is this area? What is this area called? What is this area called X? What is this area called Y? What is X and Y here? Come on. What is X and Y here? Namrata, what is X? What is Y? Namrata?
Sir, Y is subtropic level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if it only say like that, then X is?
X is temperate.
Okay. If you call that, yes, this is a temperate, X is a temperate, and Y is a subtropic. So now India with much of its land area in the tropical latitude, is it not that? This much of area of India is in tropical latitude. Much of the tropical latitude has more than 1,200 species of birds. We have 1,200 species of birds here in India. Because much of the population, much of the area of India is in tropical latitude. And as you go from here, you enter into temperate. Your Himalayan mountains They are very much in temperate condition. Therefore, you know, when you compare North India, South India, North India, South India, which is good, which is good, which is better, which is better, climate-wise or biodiversity-wise, which is better? Always South India is better than North India. You might have seen, you might have heard that in North India, during winter, there will be too much of winter. During summer, there will be too much of heat. During winter, there's too much of cold. Have you heard that? I think I might have told you. In North India, office hours, they get changed because of too much of hot condition during daytime in summer. So if you look at India, South India is a much, much better than North India. We are fortunate that we are born in South India. A forest in a tropical region, like Ecuador, this is what you have, the Ecuador. This is again Central America. A forest in a tropical region like Ecuador has up to 10 times as many species of vascular plants as a forest of equal area in a temperate region like Midwest of the USA. Midwest of USA. If you compare Midwest of USA, you have here, because this is near to the tropical equator. It is very much in a tropical belt. It is near to equator. So in Ecuador, you have 10 times more vascular plants than you compare somewhere away Midwest of USA. Right? Midwest of USA. This is what I said. This is what you have here, comparing this area. A forest in tropical regions of Ecuador has 10 times more vascular plants as compared to Midwest of USA, temperate region in USA, right? The largely tropical Amazon rainforest, this is one of the most important forests in the world. The largely tropical region, it is situated in tropical region. The largely tropical American rainforest, Amazon rainforest in South America has the greatest biodiversity on Earth. It is home to more than 40,000 species of plants, 3,000 species of fishes, 1,300 birds, 427 of mammals and amphibians, 378 of reptiles, and more than 125,000 invertebrates. Where Amazonian rainforest, it is much, much superior to our Western Ghat in species diversity. This figure you have to by heart. Easy, 40,000 species of plants. In the decreasing order to go, 3,000 species of fishes, 1,300 species of birds, 427 species of mammals and amphibians, 378 species of reptiles, and more than 125,000 species of invertebrates. Scientists estimate that in these rainforests, there might be at least 2 million insect species. 2 million insect species waiting to be discovered and named. They are not discovered, but the scientists are expecting there must be 2 million of the insect species. Remember, this is very much in tropical region. I hope you are convinced now that the tropical region is always with high, rich biodiversity. Right? This is Amazon rainforest. Right? What is so special about the tropics that might account for their greater biological diversity? Come on. This is a question now. What may be the reason for such high diversity in these tropics? Ecologists and evolution biologists have proposed various hypotheses. They are giving this a question for 4 marks in examination. Ecologists and evolution biologists have proposed 4 hypotheses. We shall look into them. What are these? 1. Speciation. That means formation of new species, origin of new species. Speciation is generally a function of time. You can't expect a species to be formed all of a sudden. It takes a lot of time, several million years. Speciation is generally a function of time. Unlike temperate regions subjected to frequent glaciation in the past, tropical latitudes have remained relatively undisturbed for millions of years and thus had a long evolutionary time for species diversification. What does it mean? This sentence is the origin of new species. It takes a lot of time in terms of millions of years. And this origin of species is more and you see the species is more in the tropical area than in the temperate area. We are trying to find out the reason why that tropical area has more species than temperate area. What it is said, the temperate area got subjected to very frequent glaciation. What is glaciation? Glaciation is nothing but change in the environmental condition leading to the extinction of number of species there. If you look into tropical area and the temperate area, whatever you have seen beyond the 23.5 degrees north or south, these areas were frequently undergoing a glaciation. They frequently used to undergo glaciation, which used to result in the elimination of the existing species. When compared to that, tropical area being stable, it has not faced that much of extinction in the past as the temperate area has faced. And we have seen already, speciation is a time bound. It is a function of time. It takes a lot of time to get formed. But if at all there's a frequent change in the environment condition, no species will remain here. If at all the speciation has to take place, you know that the original species, it has to undergo a lot of modification and that has to convert into another species. After getting all the adaptations accumulated, after getting into the genetic system. So, because of the frequent disturbance of the climatic condition, the speciation is very slow. Therefore, you come across a lesser species in the temperate area. And because of the stable condition in the tropical area, existing in the stable, not undergoing frequent changes in environment condition, speciation is more, or occurrence of species is more in the tropical area. Right? Have you understood this? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Who will explain me? Come on. Why species are more in the tropical area and less in temperate area? Yake. Can you tell me, Harshavardhan? Hello? Vishwas? Siddesh? Come on. Ball is in the court of boys of Ananda Tirtha. Why you come across more species in the tropical area than in temperate area? What I have said just now. Charan? Charan. You are not at all answering. Should I call your warden? Chinmayi, where is Charan?
Is there?
Huh?
Is there?
Then why he is not answering? Shall I call the warden? Or shall I call principal? Shall I call principal? Sarottam, Harshavardhan, please answer my question. Shall I call the principal? Tell that you are not answering my question.
Sir, in temperate region, there are a lot of frequent glaciations in the past, and tropical latitudes have remained undisturbed, sir, for millions of years. Thus,
ಯಾ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿದ್ದೇಶ್ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ವಾರ್ಡನ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ ಯಾಕೆ ನೀನಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಾ ಸಿದ್ದೇಶ್ ಗುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ನೌ ಶಾಲ್ ಯು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಾ
Yes, sir.
Second reason, tropical environments, unlike temperate ones, are less seasonal, relatively more constant and predictable. This is what I said. Temperate region, when compared to the tropical region, tropical environments, unlike temperate ones, are less seasonal. What you see? In temperate regions, you see the winter is very severe, summer is very severe, but this is not the case in tropical region. Too much of cold, too much of hot. Such a constant environment promotes niche. What is the niche? We are going to study about the niche again. Niche of an organism is a functional role that it plays within an ecosystem. What it does to obtain energy, that is the niche. How it lives in the one particular community ecosystem, that is the niche. Such a constant environment promote niche specialization and lead to a greater species diversity. So, second point tells that tropic environments are generally stable than the temperate. First point I said, glaciation occurred very frequently in the temperate countries, temperate region than the tropical region. Therefore, species originated more and remained more in the tropical region. Third one, there is more solar energy available in the tropic. As a result of more solar energy available in tropic, there will be more growth of plants, more productivity. In turn, it contributes to the increase in the number of animals also. So when there is more light available for the photosynthesis to be shown by the plants show higher productivity, and these animals in turn might contribute indirectly to the greater diversity. Herbivores also will be there. From the herbivore, you will see that carnivores also will be there. So this includes that highest diversity. So 4 points you have seen. These are the 3 points that you have come across with regard to the ecologists and evolutionarians have proposed various hypotheses. Some of the important ones are speciation is generally a function time, and glaciation used to occur more in the temperate area than in the tropical area. So species are more in the tropical, less in the temperate, stable condition of the environment, and also high solar energy, more solar energy available in the tropics. Now let us study species area relationship. Anyone has any doubt? Are you hearing it seriously?
yes, sir.
Are you there? Savitri?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Savitri? Aisha?
Yes, sir.
Blessy?
Yes, sir.
Jayasri?
Yes, sir.
Kavita? Okay. Now let us see species area relationship. During his pioneering and extensive exploration in the wilderness of South American jungle, the great German naturalist and geographer Alexander von Humboldt observed that within a region, species richness increased with increasing explored area, but only up to a limit. What is this? Alexander Humboldt, very important person. Alexander Humboldt noticed that. What he has noticed? You may say that, what is there? Great. Everyone knows it. What is that? What is that? Everyone knows it. Alexander Humboldt observed that within a region, species richness increased with increasing explored area, but only up to a limit. Now let us see that this is the area. Okay. You know, in this particular area, you have these many species, say A and B. This A is this much, say B is, let us say that 60. Okay, A area, this area has A species 50 in number, B species 60 in number. Now we are increasing the explored area. We are increasing. Again, we are increasing the explored area. We are going to search in more and more areas. Again, you have started increasing the explored area. What he said? What Humboldt said? Humboldt said that within a region, species richness increased with increasing explored area, but only up to a limit. Now, first you have seen this area only, and you got some number. Then you increase this area, little bit more area started searching. Then again little bit more area started searching. Again you included more area to searching. Is it that as you go on searching in a bigger and bigger area, the number goes on increasing? You may ask, what is that? It is a known fact. It is a simple fact. Yeah, we also know, you also know. As you increase the area more and more, you will come across more and more species. But what he said, Humboldt? This increase, Humboldt observed that within a region, species richness increased with increasing explored area. Explored area is the area where you have made search. But only up to a limit. Is it that if it is A species is 50 here, then as you increase it becomes 60, as you increase further it becomes 70, as you increase it becomes 80, as you increase it becomes 90, as you increase it becomes 100? Is it that like that geometrically it goes on increasing? Humboldt has observed it increases, but only up to a limit. No. You may see increase at the beginning to a certain up to here you may see increase in the species, but later as you increase, it is the same species that gets repeated. There will not be much increase as you go on increasing the area. So this is what Humboldt said it. Only up to certain extent the species number increases. Later, the same species that gets repeated, there will not be much increase at all, or it may stop. If you go to totally different area, first you have searched the species in Udupi, near Kast Street. Later you increased near up to Kadiyali, up to Kinimulki, up to Ambagilo. Again you increased it up to Parkala, Hiryadka, up to Malpe, up to Manchakal, up to Kapu, up to Kalyanpura. So when you start increasing a little, no doubt that the beginning species increases, but later the same species gets repeated. That's one point. Now, if you come to Bangalore and start to looking for the species near Majestic area, then including many more area around that, and go on spreading, to at the beginning there will be increase in species, but later the same species starts getting repeated. This is what we call species area relationship. Look here. In fact, the relation between the species richness and species richness and area for a wide variety of taxa, angiosperm, birds, bats, freshwater fishes, turns out to be a rectangular hyperbola. As you see, a rectangular hyperbola. On a logarithmic scale, the relationship is a straight line described by the equation log S is equal to log C plus Z log A. This is what you have to remember. This is more mathematical. I will leave to you. Where S is species richness, A is area, Z the slope of the line, and C is equal to Y intercept. Please follow that yourself. Ecologists have discovered that the value of Z lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.2 Bhat, regardless of the taxon group or the region whether it is the plants in Britain, bird insect in California or mollusks, whatever may be the group, whatever may be the region, it is generally remains at 0.1 to 0.2, right? But if you analyze the species area relationships among very large areas like entire continent, you will find that the slope of the line to be much steeper. Z values in the range of 0.6 to 1.2. For example, for frugivorous, fruit-eating birds and mammals in the tropical forests of different continents, the slope is to be 1.15. All this you must know yourself and remember. The important of species diversity to the ecosystem. Yes? Any doubt here? Have you understood? Vismita? Have you followed?
Yes, sir.
Nadira?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lohit?
Yes, sir.
Shall you go ahead? Does the number of species in a community really matter to the function of the ecosystem? What is your answer? Does the number of species in a community really matter to the function of the ecosystem? Navya?
Yes, sir.
What is your answer? Does the number of species in a community really matter the functioning of that ecosystem? Let us say that you have ecosystem, a small cropland of 1 acre. Does the number of species in that particular area matter the functioning of that ecosystem? Yes, Navi is not answering. Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Rakesh, tell me, in what way?
Each species have its own role in the environment. Sorry, in the ecosystem
Very
to
good.
play.
Very good. Rakesh has said it. Yes. Does the number of species in a community really matter the function of ecosystem? Yes, it really counts. This is a question for which ecologists have not been able to give a definite answer, but Rakesh has given the answer. For many decades, ecologists believed that communities with more species generally tend to be more stable than those with lesser species. I repeat, for many decades, ecologists believed that communities with more species in a particular area, there is more species of these living beings, generally tend to be more stable than those with lesser species. Why? Any area, any ecosystem with more species is generally tend to be more stable than those with lesser species. Right? Now let us make it a point. There is one bench where 6 students can sit. Where 6 students can sit. Aisha, Blessy, Kanisa, Janani, Kavita, Navya. Always these 6 students sit in the bench. They know very well each other. They take mutual help and every day they are benefited by this. My point is that this is better, or you have a big bench, only 3 are there, Aisha, Kanisa, Kavita. Only three are there. This is an area with the lesser species. Earlier was the area with the more species. Because these three students are there, now, when Visvita goes there, she finds that there is a space, she will sit there. When Nadira goes there, she finds some space, she will sit there. When Tanusri goes there, she finds some space, she sits there. And this sitting is because there is a space. And Vismita, Nadira, and Tanusri, they go and sit in another place tomorrow, which is the most stable bench. The one with these 6 members always sitting together, or the one with only 3 and getting 3 mixed up every day and like that, which is the most stable one. Bench number 1, what are the case number 1 which I said at the beginning, or case number 2? Navya? 1. So, for many decades, ecologists believed that communities with more species generally tend to be more stable than those with less species. Why? What exactly is the stability for a biological community? What to say that stability, sir? A stable community should not show too much variation in the productivity from year to year. It must be either resistant or resilient, withstand difficult condition to occasion disturbances, and it must also be resistant to invasion by alien species. This is a stability of a biological community. What is that? A stable community should not show too much variation in the productivity. Now let us see that you have a stable community with these many mango trees, with these many jackfruit trees. Okay? And these are cashew trees. This particular area, with these many, it is tightly fixed, stable. You have, let us say, 50 mango trees, another 50 jackfruit trees, another 50 or 60 or a cashew nut. And you know, a stable community should not show too much variation in the productivity. We know these 50 mango trees will produce this much mango, jackfruit trees will produce this much jackfruit, and this cashew nut tree gives us this much of cashew. So it is fixed. A stable community should not show too much variation in productivity from year to year. There will not be too much variation because it is a 50 plant, 50, 50, 50 plants. It must be either resistant or resilient. If it on any condition, unfavorable condition comes, they manage and somehow they will survive. They manage to occasion disturbances also, natural man-made. And stable community also be resistant to invasion by alien species. So when these 50, 50, 50, they are jam-packed, no other species come there because already they are occupied. There is no space. So 6 members are sitting in a bench. When all these Aisha to Navya are sitting, when Vismita and Nadira comes, they can't sit because it is packed. Vismita and Nadira cannot influence already 6-member coherent group. This is what exactly stability of a biological community means. A stable community is always don't show much variation in productivity. It will manage to occasional disturbances, and it also is resistant to the invasion by alien species or third species. Have you understood this, Aisha? Kanisa?
Yes, sir.
Have you followed this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If this is the condition, I am going to take up another experiment to show that. David Tillman's long-term experiment that I will take up in my next class. You know, tomorrow, whatever my class was proposed, that will be taken up by Sandeep sir. He will meet my class tomorrow. Okay, I'll be putting this MCQs pertaining to this chapter in the Google Classroom. Please go to that and also keep ready. Whenever I call you for discussing of MCQs, come and get ready for that. Okay. Any other question you have? Any other doubt you have?